Grab your foam roller and we're going to roll out our glute med. So you're going to sit on the foam roller, coming into a piriformis stretch, taking your dominant foot's ankle over the opposite thigh, figure 4 stretch, and then leaning into the hip of the leg you've lifted up on top. So you're going to lean into the hip, and you can come all the way down to the forearms if that feels good, getting into that fascia. This is a program for singers and actors for sway back posture. We're going to be using a stability device almost the entire time to really get your pelvic floor, your pelvis under you, get you breathing, expanding, using your diaphragm, and opening up those posturally tight areas for better posture, especially improving that upper back extensor area and the overactivity in the rectus abdominis. That'll really improve your sound. So we'll be here for a minute on each side because this is an area that needs to be loosened up so that we can improve range of motion. Go ahead and switch sides. It's been a minute. Digging into that fascia, and feel free with your foot that's on top to plantar flex and work that foot, pointing the toes here. Or you can dorsiflex. Plantar flexion is going to be a little better so that we can also find the adductor line and work the feet a little bit more as we come up onto our foam roller standing in our standing series. So keep breathing here. This is our open postural stretch. And then we're going to move into some abdominals. You've got about 15 seconds left. Hear your breath coming in and out. Watch out for tension in the neck, the shoulders, the facial muscles. Soften those areas. And on your next exhale, you're going to grab your small anti-burst ball and come to lie on your back, supine, placing the anti-burst ball under your sacrum to elevate your pelvis. So with our pelvis elevated here, this allows us room for a little more lumbar extension. So with sway back, we see flexion in the pelvis, which is a tucked pelvis, and this can exacerbate back issues. So we want to open up that low back a little bit more, countering that flexion with some extension. So take your pointer fingers to the bony protrusions of your hips and tip your tailbone over the ball, creating some lumbar extension. And now from here, inhale your pelvis back to a neutral position. So that's the position between tucking it under and arching it. And exhale it back to extension, tipping it down towards your heels over the ball. Again, inhale neutral pelvis without tucking or rounding the low back. It's a very small range of motion, and then exhale, the pelvis pulls towards the heels. Let's hold it towards the heels, and you can keep your hands on your hips so that you see if they stay even and you keep the extension, or you can put the hands on the floor. I like to sometimes put my elbows down, digging them in for a little scapular stability, and then hold my hands to the hips to keep them even. We're going to take one leg in the air. And the leg that we have in the air, let's start with our dominant leg coming up. Externally rotate that leg from the hip socket. Point the toes, plantar flex the toes, and we're going to take the leg away from the body out to the side. And so take it about as wide as your shoulder, coming closer to your shoulder than down towards the floor. Straight leg, pointed toes. Inhale here. And on your exhale, I want you to internally rotate that leg in the femur bone, small little circles of the leg with this abduction away from the leg that we found. So small little circles. And then on your next inhale, you're going to take the leg back up to center. Back up to center. And on your exhale, we'll open it back out as wide as the shoulder. Pause, inhale, grounding your pelvis. Exhale, internal rotation of the leg, circles in, recruiting the underactive hip flexor here, as well as those adductors of your inner thighs, working on pelvic stability. Bring that leg back in. On your next inhale, pelvis pulling towards that heel on the floor, so you're still in extension. Exhale, open that thigh out, and remember it's only as wide as your shoulder, staying in the frame of the body. Internal rotation, working that adductor line as you circle the leg in the hip socket, and slowly bring it back in. Let's switch sides. Setting up on the other side. Remembering the shoulders need to melt down the back, the elbows can pin to the floor. Hands can be on the hips to watch out for hiking one hip. We want those bony protrusions of the hips to shine like headlights, kind of on the diagonal forward in front of us towards our feet, because we're arching our low back over the ball. Circling the leg in the hip socket, make sure it comes in towards the body, not out. Internal rotation. Pause on your inhale to bring the leg back up to your center line, perpendicular to the floor, and exhale, open it out to the side, trying to get it towards that same shoulder as the leg you're working. And then small circles on the exhale, moving the leg back to center on the inhale. Exhale, open the leg. Inhale, pause to ground the pelvis. Exhale, circle. And inhale, bring it back up to center. From here, bend the knee, put the foot on the ground, send your hips up into the air, sliding that ball out. Hold on to that ball. We're going to come onto our knees on our foam roller. We're going to tie our lightest Theraband a quarter of the way into the roller and bring the knees onto the roller. Make sure the excess of the band is on your dominant arm side to start out. So if you're right-handed, that band is right by your right hand and vice versa. The ball's going to go between your inner thighs to help you find that lower pelvic floor and engage your inner thighs here. We're going to wrap the excess of the band around our dominant hand, and we're going to do some loaded lateral flexion. So the bottom hand is going to lift after we take a side body stretch. So the arm that's not loaded, we bend over towards the loaded arm side. We exhale, and then we inhale, lifting the loaded arm up to frame the face. So you're in a nice lateral flexion with both arms up, and holding that position here. Inhale one, breathe. Exhale one, and inhale back up. Both arms come back by your side. So we begin with the arm that's not loaded, bending over, taking the stretch, and then we add the loaded arm up, framing the face, engaging the lat under the armpit where it attaches. Inhale one, hold. Exhale and inhale back up to center. Arms sweeps, both arms sweep by the side of the body. So let them sweep down through a T all the way to the hips. Side body stretch, same side. Inhale, bend. Add the arm, plugging the shoulders down. Widen the gap between the chin and the chest. Imagine my hands on your shoulders. Bring your sternum back towards my hands on your shoulders. Closing off the rib cage. Pull the abs in. Inhale back up to center. One more time on this side. Take the side body stretch first, opening up those tight lats. Adding the bottom arm. Widen the gap between the chin and the chest. Imagine my hands on your pelvis, pulling it towards the roller. Pull the abs up against that action, the pelvic floor up against that, and inhale back up to center. Go ahead and switch sides, setting up on the second side. Knees go on the roller, gathering in your non-dominant arm this time. We're strengthening our external obliques and our lats. Side bend first, exhale that air out as you bend over. Inhale, add the bottom arm. Plugging the shoulders down, inhale one, stay, exhale one, and inhale back up. Arms sweep down by the sides. Immediately begin the next one. Exhale, bending over, taking the stretch. Inhale, add the arm, pelvis pulls down, pelvic floor muscles pull in and up. Hold, inhale, and exhale, and inhale back to center. And let's do one more. We're going to side bend, adding the bottom arm, plugging the shoulders down. Inhale one, breathe. Exhale one. And inhale back up to center. We're going to now come into a plank. And I'd like you to take the heaviest loop band around your upper arms above your elbows and the ball between your inner thighs. We're going to come into a regular plank, so like a push-up position. And from there, this heaviest Theraband that we have around our upper arms is going to give us a little more stability, but we want to pull out on it, engaging our scapular stabilizer. So push down into the foam roller with the hands and pull out. The ball is between the inner thighs, and you're in a nice plank with the hands on the foam roller. From here, you're going to inhale to prepare, exhale to tap both knees to the floor, and then inhale, straighten those legs. Holding that plank, exhale, tap the knees down, inhale, straighten. Exhale, tap them down, inhale, straighten. Give me 5. Breathing into that, and 4, 3, almost there, 2, and last one. 1, bring the hands to the floor. Let's find cat and cow. Let's land in cow, extending the tailbone and chest and chin up, and moving through flexion, exhaling. Inhale as you arch. Exhale as you round. And last time, inhale and exhale, coming to a comfortable seat. Good job. We're going to move into a back series. We're going to bring our lightest Theraband into our hands, and we're going to stand against a wall. We're going to take our arms into a diamond shape after we've wrapped the ends around each hand, around the knuckles with the thumbs on the outside, holding the arms overhead in a diamond with the hands touching. We'll start by imprinting the tailbone, the mid-back, the upper back, the back of the arms, the head into the wall. Notice the front ribs. See if you can bring the sternum towards the wall, closing off the rib cage. From here, exhale your dominant elbow, sliding it along the wall towards the side of your body. You'll notice that the other arm has to be right above the head so the band doesn't hit you in the head. So make sure that the non-dominant arm is right above your head. And once you get it there, inhale it back up to the diamond and begin again. Stay on that dominant side. Exhale, pulling down to the side of the body and inhaling back up. This mimics a lat pull down, but you have to find the imprint, which involves recruiting the upper back and turning off the chest where we're overactive. So keep checking in with the front ribs. Try to imprint those back ribs. Bring the front ribs towards the back ribs, pressing them into the wall, and keep that going. As you inhale, the pelvis pulls towards the floor, but the pelvic floor muscles lift in and up. As you exhale, the inner thighs pull towards the wall behind you to stabilize your torso, lengthening the body. Give me 4 more. 4, really working that upper back, and 3, softening the heart inward. Now's the time to find the imprint, really using the back, turning off the front body. 1 more, and let's switch to your non-dominant side. Now, if this is fatiguing, you can always take a quick forward fold for the upper back to release it. But let's continue on. The goal is to build some strength to combat kyphosis that our sway back is pulling us into. So make sure that you're not losing your imprint. Mid-back, upper back. I don't want your low back imprinting. We want to avoid that pelvic flexion that we see so much with sway back. So there can be some space between the low back and the wall, but not the mid back and the wall. You got to find that imprint. Keep going. Take your time, exhaling to pull down. And as that arm goes up on the inhale, feel your pelvis reaching in opposition down, lengthening your torso so that the obliques don't get short. We don't want crunching in the QL in the back. So we want to keep that side body long. 1 more. And excellent. From here, grab a 3-pound weight and hold that weight in your dominant hand. You're going to come back to the wall in a cactus position with your arms in cactus. Find your imprint once again. And from here, we're going to slide both arms up into a press, an overhead press. And then we're going to pull it back down to cactus, trying to keep our imprint once again. So the upper back, the backs of the arms, the back of the head, pressing into the wall. Give me 4. So inhale as they press, exhale as they come down. Hear your breath. Inhale either through the nose or mouth. Exhale out the mouth. Good. Feel the opposition. The arms are going up, but the pelvis is pulling down. As the arms come down, the inner thighs pull back. So the energy lines of the body are important, and they're associated with your breath. So don't hold your breath. Use your breath. One more. Go ahead and switch sides, setting up on that non-dominant side for some extra repetitions. At any point, if you need to roll your shoulders out, standing in the center, rolling the shoulders, feel free to do so. Begin when you're ready. Inhale, pressing the arms up, and exhale, bringing them back down. Again, the front ribs reaching for the back ribs imprinting into the wall. Now, when I say your pelvis is pulling down, it's as if I have a hold of your pelvis and I'm pulling it down on the inhale so we get length through the side body. But I don't want you to dump your belly out at the same time. So the pelvis pulls down, but the muscles that stop your stream of pee pull in and up on that same inhale. Give me two more when you're ready. Inhale up, exhale down, and last one, inhale and exhale. From here, we have tied our lightest Theraband a quarter of the way into the roller. We are going to bring our roller against the wall so we can stand on it with the excess of the band on the outside. And we're going to stand on the roller, holding onto the wall. So what I want is your dominant arm to be loaded first. So the band is, you have to tie it in a nice tight knot because I don't want it to pop up and hit you in the face. And make sure your non-dominant hand is by a wall, bar, or counter when you step up onto the roller. So we're not doing this in the center with no leverage. We need a little leverage. Make sure the knees are bent when you step up onto the roller for the first time because it will be jarring on your balance, but that's the point, to get us really using our core as we use our limbs in space. So standing by a wall, we're going to step up onto the roller and we're going to hold that band in our dominant hand. One hand on the wall, step up onto the roller. And you want to wrap your feet around the roller. You can bring them hip distance apart if you have back issues or together if you don't. And I want you to point your toes, wrapping them around the roller like a bird wraps its feet around a branch. We're going to bring our outside arm up into scaption, a V, a high V, in line with our chest, palm facing the chest. So palm facing in. From here, we'll inhale. Exhale, circle the arm out, little external rotation, and then lower the arm back down by the side. Inhale the arm up as the pelvis pulls down towards the roller, and exhale, circle it out, 2, 3, 4, and lower it down. Inhale, lift the arm up. Make sure it's right in line with your shoulder, so it's a V, like a high V, right in line with the chest, and circle, 2, 3, 4, and lower. Give me two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle. 2, 3, 4, and lower. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, circle. 2, 3, 4, and lower. Stepping off the roller slowly. Coming to the other side, switching sides. Make sure there's a bend in your knees when you step up onto the roller. And keep a soft bend in the knees throughout. Don't lock your knees out. Wrap the toes around the roller. Hold on to that wall. Take your focus up eye level or a bit higher. Bring that arm in front of you. Make sure it's straight with a micro bend in the elbow. So pretty much in line with your chest. So it's almost like a frontal raise. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale. Circle the arm out. 2, 3, 4, and lower the arm. Inhale the arm up, plugging the shoulders down, closing those front ribs. Imagine my hands on your shoulder blades. Bring the front ribs back towards my hands. Bend the knees softly. Feel your pelvis pulling towards the roller on every inhale. Inner thighs pulling back on every exhale. Toes working here. Really wrap those toes around the roller. Give me one more. Lifting it up, circling the arm out. Scapular stabilizers here, recruiting, getting some movement without spraying the rib cage forward. On your next exhale, step off the roller slowly. And I want you to face the wall, bringing your hands to a T on the wall. So turn and face the wall, standing right by it. You can set the roller to the side for a second. And we're going to come into a pec major stretch. Bring your dominant arm into a T facing the wall and twist away from it. Soft bend in the knees. Bring your head up onto your spine. Make sure that you can take your outside hand to your hip. Ground your pelvis towards the floor. Pull the core in. And just breathe here. Each exhale is a chance to twist a little deeper, opening up the posturally tight pec major. And again, use your breath to deepen the stretch. If you feel any pain in the front of the shoulder, you've gone a little too far. A stretch is a different feeling than pain, so stay where you're just feeling some stretching, not pain. Breathe into that. On your next exhale, slowly turn back to the wall, taking your non-dominant hand onto the wall, moving into this stretch on the other side. Twisting away from that arm, taking the whole body with you. Watch out for the forward head. Keep the head up onto the spine. I always think about widening the distance between my chest and my chin, or looking up a little higher than eye level. That'll usually do it, the trick. Watch out for locking out in the knees. We don't want any of that bow-leggedness to be reinforced. So even while you're standing here, feel the bones of your big toes pressing into the floor. Soft bend in the knees. Focus up a little higher than eye level. Slowly making your way back to center. Great job. We're going to move into a lower body series. For our lower body series, we're going to grab our lightest loop band to bring around our ankles. And it looks like this. I do not have sway back posture, so I won't be using it, but I'm going to show you what it looks like, and I want you to keep that lightest loop band on your ankles. And we're going to come over to our foam roller. We're going to step up onto it, starting with our dominant. Let's start with our dominant leg on the outside, because that's going to be our standing leg. So dominant leg. So if you're right-handed, that's typically your left leg. If you're left-handed, that's typically your right leg, unless you've had a severe injury, and it could be the opposite as a result of that. So go ahead and hold on to the wall. Step on up. Remember those bird feet that we found when we stepped up for our scapular work, for our back, wrapping the toes around. We're going to take our outside hand to our hand for now. Let's actually use that lightest Theraband again. And I just want you to take an overhead press with it with your outside hand. It's going to give you a little more stability and help you use your back at the same time we're using the lower body. So that arm, that outside arm is just in a shoulder press. Watch out for shoulder elevation, but it's going to be isometrically held, so you don't have to think too much about it. It'll just stay up. Our inside leg, we're going to point the toes and we're going to bring the leg up to knee flexion, lowering and lifting it. So what I want to see is inhale, lift the leg, exhale, lower the leg. Yes, inhale, the pelvis pulls down as you lift the leg, and exhale, lower the leg. Arm is isometrically held overhead in a shoulder press. And we inhale to lift the leg, exhale to lower. And see if you can do this with a pointed foot, plantar flexion. Since we have sway back, we want to work those toes, finding the adductor line even more. Watch out for hip elevation, so keep your hips square, shoulders plugged down. If you're finding your outside hip is hiking a lot, you can drop that band and bring the hand to the hip to work on keeping that hip down. Give me one more on this side, and one, and let's slowly make our way off and set up on the second side. Always bending the knees as we come off, and being conscious when we're on the roller, especially on one leg, of staying soft in our supporting knee and holding onto the wall. Don't check out with your abs or your eyes. We don't want to challenge the balance that much. We want to stay focused. So find that isometric hold. And then when you're ready, take your inside leg into knee flexion, pointing the toes, holding it, and exhale, lower it slowly down. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower it down. Keep that going. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Two more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And last one. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back as you lower that down. Stepping off, we're going to take off this loop band. Make sure you have that lightest Theraband tied a quarter of the way into your roller. And we're going to do a squat series now to recruit the glutes, the inner thighs, and we'll also add some twisting for the TVA for the core. So the anti-burst ball is now going to be between your inner thighs. You're going to hold that lightest Theraband with your outside hand. And let's start with your dominant arm side with the Theraband on the dominant arm side. And you're going to step up onto the roller, holding on with your inside hand, and wrap the toes around the roller as we have before. Take the hand down by your side. You've wrapped the knuckles around with the thumb on the outside. The arm is going to float up to shoulder flexion as you exhale back into a squat. Squeeze in on that ball. Squeeze in on that ball. Hold it here in a squat. Arm all the way up into shoulder flexion. Hold it here. Inhale one, stay. Exhale one, and inhale, stand back up. Arm comes back down by your side. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back into that squat. Arm comes up. Hold it here. Inhale one, breathe. Exhale one. And inhale, stand back up. So use your core here. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back. Pelvic floor muscles lift in and up. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the roller, deepening the work, pulling you deeper into the pose. And exhale. Give me two more. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, sit back. Hold at the bottom. Inhale, deepen into the posture. Exhale, hold, squeeze the ball. Inhale, stand back up. And last time. Exhale, sitting back, deepening into it. Inhale one. Exhale one. Now stay here and just let go of the band and let it go down to the floor. Good. Bring that outside arm right by your chest. And I want you to punch across the body towards the wall. Give me some twists and punches. Give me 4 and 3, 2, staying low in your squat. 1, come back up. Inhale, back up to a standing position. Exhale, sit back into your squat. And twist and punch for 4 and 3. Try to keep your pelvis still, pulling towards the roller. Isolate that torso with the punches. Take your head up onto your spine. Come up to stand. Inhale. And exhale, sitting back, deeply inhale and punch for 4. Shoulders down the back, 3. Head up on the spine, 2. And 1. Inhale, standing up. And last time, exhale, inner thighs pull you back into the squat. And we punch for 4. Widening the collarbone, 3. And 2. And 1. Standing up tall. Slowly stepping off the roller, coming to the second side, setting up for our first set of squats. We need that band. It's tied to the roller in a knot, quarter of the way in. And we're going to step up onto the roller and we're going to begin. So we're going to sit back into our squat, exhaling back, coming into shoulder flexion. Plug the shoulders down the back. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1, and inhale, standing up. Arm comes back down by your side. Exhale, sitting back into your squat. Pull those inner thighs in towards the ball. Bring the sternum in towards the back body there. And standing up. Exhale to sit back. Inner thighs pull you back. Pelvis pulls down. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. And inhale, stand up tall. Give me 2 more. Exhale, sitting back. Hold. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale, stand up. And last time with the band. Exhale, sit back. Hold. Inhale 1, breathe. Point those toes. Exhale 1. And inhale, standing up. Go ahead and let go of the band. We'll move into our punch series. We'll sit back on the exhale. Sitting back. Twisting towards the wall, punching for 4. The rotations from the rib cage. Keep your pelvis quiet and pulling towards the roller. Inhale to stand back up tall. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back. Pelvic floor muscles in. Punch 4. Hear your breath. 3, 2, and 1. Standing up. And 2 more. Take it back. And punch 4. Core tight. 3. Feel that rotation. 2. And 1, standing up, inhale, and last time, exhale, sit back, use your feet, use your low abs, twisting, 2, and 3, Last one, 4. Good. Slowly stepping off the roller. Grab your lightest Theraband, lightest loop band, bringing it around your wrist, standing facing me. Hold your arms overhead with the band around the wrists. And I want you to step your right leg behind your left, coming into a cross leg position. And we are going to, but there's equal weight on both feet, bend the knees, and side bend in the direction of your front foot. Yes, hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1, pulling out a little, engaging your shoulders. Inhale 2, exhale 2, inhale 3, exhale 3, inhale back up to center. Switch the cross of your legs, bending both knees, trying to pull the pelvis towards the floor. At the same time, pushing the pelvis forward for a bit of a psoas opener. Push the pelvis forward, pull the core in, plug the shoulders down. Hear your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Good work. We're going to move into a standing series. Before we begin the standing series, I'd like to open up the posturally tight hamstrings, lying supine with your heaviest Theraband to put around your dominant foot first. If your hamstrings are super tight, which they will be with sway back, you're going to want to put the anti-burst ball under your head so that your neck isn't straining as you stretch these tight muscles. We'll be here for a full minute, opening up this area that's tight. Watch out for the pelvis here. I want you to think about tipping your pelvis towards whatever is in front of you, towards your foot that's extended out in front of you, creating a mouse hole between the low back and the floor. We don't want to exacerbate that pelvic flexion that's causing chronic low back pain. So you need to find some low back extension. You can take one hand and slide it under the low back to check if there's that mouse hole there. That's going to be imperative that you keep some space there. Try to not crunch those fingers. Tip that tailbone, arching the low back without pushing the belly out. So keep the abs pulling in and up. On your next exhale, slowly switch legs. Take your time. It's a tight area. We don't want to pull anything in the process of switching. Check in with the pelvic position again. Tip it down, finding that extension. Find an imprint of your mid-back and upper back. And imagine those front ribs reaching for the back ribs, imprinting them as well into the floor. Plug the shoulders down the back. Increase the distance between the chin and the chest. You can even squeeze the front of your thigh to lift the kneecap a little more to intensify the stretch. Watch out that it doesn't cause you to go to flexion in your pelvis. So keep some extension. Can always hold one hand under the low back at all times, just as a marker if you find that you're always flattening the low back into the floor. On our next exhale, we'll slowly make our way up to standing. For this exercise, we need to tie, and it's important that you tie the end of your band in a knot to your roller a quarter of the way in. We're going to be doing an overhead press with our outside arm, isometrically holding that the whole time. We're going to bring our metatarsals onto the roller, standing by a wall, and we're going to do some calf pedaling on our exhale. Our inhale will ground for balance purposes, and our exhale will pedal, kind of like you do when you're doing down dog pedaling, but we're going to have the challenge of stability, which will help us recruit the lower underactive pelvic floor. So stepping up onto the roller, feet can be hip distance or together, depending on your balance. Hip distance is going to be a little easier. Together is going to be quite the challenge. Arm overhead, isometric hold. And then from here, your heels are going to come off of the roller a little. So come onto the pads of the feet, pull your abs in, bend your knees. Inhale, prepare by pulling the pelvis towards the roller. Exhale, pedaling the feet, dropping one heel and then the other. And this is about the calf flexibility, this posturally tight area. And it's also about using the core to initiate movement. So I want you to pause on your inhale, pulling your pelvis down towards the roller. On your exhale, we pedal. The heels are moving. We're switching, bending the knees, but we're driving. The driving force is that lower pelvic floor pulling in and up to stabilize you here. Inhale, prepare. exhale, pedal. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, pedal. 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, pedal. 2, 3, and 4. Good. Okay, so from here, let's stay on this side for our frontal plane balance exercise before we go to the second side. So stay on the roller. I want you to bring your outside arm into cactus, so it looks like this, and you're just going to keep it in cactus. Step your feet a little closer to the wall. What we're going to do is we're going to step onto our outside foot, bringing our inside leg into side knee flexion. So side knee flexion, and then from here we're going to inhale, prepare, exhale, bending the torso towards that knee, coming into a little bit of an oblique crunch. Give me 3, 2, 1. Pause, inhale, ground your pelvis again, exhale, bend again. 3, towards that lifted leg. 2, you can point the toes of the lifted foot. 1, again, inhale, prepare, and exhale, bending towards it for 4 and 3. Breathing. 2 and 1. Step towards the wall again, same side. We'll repeat. I want you to step to the side to that unilateral balance. So stepping onto our outside foot, outside arms in cactus, bringing the inside leg into side knee flexion, pointing the toes. Keep the hips even. And inhale, prepare, exhale, oblique crunch for 4 and 3. Core is tight. 2. Closing the front ribs. 1. Inhale, prepare again. Exhale, bend. 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, bend. 2, 3, and 4. We'll slowly make our way to the other side. We're going to begin with the calf pedaling. So turn yourself around. Remember, soft bend in the knees as you step up. Outside arm comes to shoulder flexion in the isometric hold. Inhale to ground your pelvis. Initiate from the pelvic floor lift as you pedal your heels, stretching out actively that gastrocnemius that's posturally tight, driving from the weak pelvic floor muscles to strengthen the lower abs for better posture and alignment. Keep that going. Inhale, prepare, exhale, pedal. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, pedal. 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, pedal. 2, 3, 4. Bringing the outside arm into cactus, stepping closer to the wall. We're going to be moving on to our non-dominant, actually this probably is your dominant leg if you're right-handed. So we're going to step onto that outside leg. Inside leg comes to side knee flexion. Pause for a moment. Ground your pelvis. Inhale. Side bending. Exhale. 4, 3. Lateral flexion. 2. Good for those external obliques. 1. Inhale. Hold. Ground yourself. Exhale. Bend. 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale. Prepare. And exhale. Bend. 2, 3, 4. Step towards the wall again. Same thing. We're repeating, stepping to that single leg balance. Find the balance first. Point the toes of the lifted leg. Inhale. Pelvis pulls towards the roller. Exhale. Inner thighs pull back as you bend to the side, and your pelvic floor muscles support this movement. Inhale. Pelvis pulls down. Pelvic floor muscles pull in and up. Bend. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale. Pelvis pulls down. Exhale. Bend. 2, 3, and 4. Slowly stepping off of this roller. I want you to face the wall for a postural stretch for your shoulders. Bring your dominant arm up into a high V. You'll be on the inside of the thumb and the wrist, and we're going to twist away from that arm, opening up your anterior delt here. Bend the knees a little bit, and inhale 1. Breathe. Exhale, grounding the body, lengthening the torso, using your abs to deepen the stretch, twisting on the exhale. While we're here, you can do some diaphragmatic breathing, breathing into the belly, Soft bend in the knees, relaxing the nervous system. Just inhale, expand the abdomen, and exhale, let it fall back in towards the spine. Inhale, expanding. And exhale, letting it come back in. And one more time, inhale, expand. And exhale, it comes back in. Go ahead and face the wall, switching sides, bringing it into that V, twisting away. Let's bring our outside hand to the belly. Try to fill it up like you're mimicking a pregnant woman. Give me that big belly. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, let it fall in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. We're moving into a standing series that involves squats and balance work through the transverse plane of motion. We're going to begin with a squat series, standing on the roller for pelvic floor strength, as well as glute and inner thigh, especially the glute max and glute min. You need your anti-burst ball and your lightest Theraband tied a quarter of the way into your roller. Go ahead and step on and make sure your dominant leg is your outside leg. I'm not so concerned about the arm as your dominant leg being your outside leg. Step up on to the roller. And we're going to inhale, prepare. And on our exhale, we're going to sweep our arm to shoulder flexion, coming into a squat, sitting back. So with the arm and shoulder flexion, we're going to shift over to our outside leg, hovering the inside leg up, holding it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale, standing up on that outside leg. And exhale, putting the inside leg back down. So we go down on 2 on our exhale. Sit back, exhale on 2, shift over, inhale, hold, exhale, and standing up on 1, inhale up. Exhale that foot down. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, sit back. Shifting over, inhale, holding, exhale, standing up on one leg, inhale, putting the foot down, exhale, 2 more. When you're ready, sit back, exhale. Pelvis pulls down, inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, standing up, and last time, when you're ready, exhale, sit back, inner thighs pull you back, inhale, pelvis pulls down as you shift, exhale, inner thighs pull you deeper into the pose, and inhale, standing up on that one leg. Wonderful. Grab the ball with your outside hand, bend your knees, and step off slowly. Switch sides. Setting up on the other side, our outside arm is loaded with that lightest band in shoulder flexion, and that arm just sweeps forward each time, and it isometrically holds. It gives you a little more stability and awareness of how much the back can help with your alignment here when you go into a deep posture like a squat. So watch out for the feet staying active. Sometimes they want to check out. I want you to use your feet, wrap them around the roller as if they're like a bird grabbing a branch. Point the toes. Use your bones of your big toes around the roller. Sit back when you're ready. Exhale. Shifting over once you're down in your squat to the opposite side, holding. And standing back up on your inhale, pelvis pulls down in opposition as you stand up. Exhale, both feet down. Pause. Inhale, ground yourself. Exhale, sit back. Pelvic floor muscles pull in. Inner thighs pull back. Shifting over to our outside leg, holding, and inhale, standing back up on that one leg, exhale the foot down, inhale, prepare, exhale, sitting back, bringing that arm up to shoulder flexion, shifting over, hold, exhale, and inhale, stand up on that one leg. Give me 3 more. This is our non-dominant side. We want to do a couple of extra repetitions. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, shift over. Exhale, hold. And inhale, stand up tall. Make sure the front ribs are reaching for the back ribs. Sternum is melting inward. Collarbone is wide. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, shift over. You're squeezing that ball, using the lower abdominals. Inhale, stand back up tall. And last time. Exhale, inhale, prepare. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, shift over, pelvis pulling down. Exhale, hold, inner thighs pulling back. Inhale, pelvis pulls down as you stand up, front ribs reaching for the back ribs. Soft bend in the knees. Let's slowly step off of the roller. From here, before we do our balance in the transverse plane, I'd like you to roll out your IT band. Begin with your dominant leg. We'll be in a side lying position for this. So this is our outer thigh all the way up to the hip. You can do some twisting forward and back, finding the fascia that needs your attention. Breathing into that. This will be a nice release, even though it is a very tight area from all the standing work we've just done. So as you're here getting into that fascia, I'm going to verbally tell you what you're doing next so that you have an idea. So go ahead and stay on this dominant side for a second. We'll need a 3-pound weight. We'll be doing an external rotator cuff isometric hold, stepping to regular knee flexion in the transverse plane up onto the roller. And we'll start facing the wall and do a quarter turn up onto the roller to knee flexion. The outside arm is loaded in an isometric hold with a 3-pound weight for the external rotator cuff. Go ahead and switch sides for your foam rolling for your IT band. Now, the transverse plane is where 90% of injuries occur. And being able to step to balance, a unilateral balance on a stability device is rather advanced. As long as you keep your supporting knee soft and you have a wall bar counter and your abs are pulled in, you're going to be fine. On your non-dominant side, I'd encourage you to try it maybe on the floor once before you try it on the roller, just to feel what it feels like to move through space onto your not as strong leg. And once you add the component of the stability, you really have to be hooked into your core. All right, let's make our way up to standing. Bring in the roller by the wall, grabbing your 3-pound weight. I want your dominant leg to be on the outside, so farthest away from the wall. And the roller is profile to the wall. We've got the weight in our outside hand, and we're doing this nice isometric external rotation of the arm for the rotator cuff. So face the wall, stand facing the wall, and you have the roller on the same side as your dominant leg, and you're going to do a quarter turn. So your body, if you're facing the wall, your body's at 12 o'clock, you're turning to 3 o'clock, placing that dominant foot at 3 o'clock and bringing the other leg up to knee flexion. The outside arm has the hand, has the weight, and the inside arm is there for security at the wall. So our inside leg is up in knee flexion and our outside arm is in an external rotator cuff position. Elbow pinned to the side of the body. Elbow pinned to the side of the body, forearm open, palm forward. So breathing here, inhale 1, test your balance, exhale 1, inhale 2, exhale 2, inhale 3, and exhale 3. Coming down slowly, same side, we're going to repeat. So turn around, face the wall. We're taking that quarter turn up onto our dominant leg. Non-dominant foot lifts immediately into knee flexion. Tip your tailbone back. Forearm is open, palm is facing forward. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1, elbows pinned to the side of the body. Inhale 2, point the toes. Exhale 2. Inhale 3, tip your tailbone back and pull your pelvic floor muscles in and up. Exhale, good. Slowly making your way down. Let's switch sides. Setting up on the non-dominant side. Again, you can try this on the floor for the first set if you're scared about stepping up onto the roller. But this is about your lower pelvic floor. Make sure that the forearm is parallel to the floor. And we're going to step up when you're ready. Quarter turn, dominant. So the non-dominant leg is going to be on the outside. Inside leg, point the toes. Breathe here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1, find the balance. Inhale 2, exhale 2. Test it if you can. Tip the tailbone back. Bring the front ribs towards the back ribs. Widen the distance between the chin and the chest. Slowly stepping down. We'll repeat one more time. When you're ready, stepping up, Finding that balance, using the feet. Inhale, ground the pelvis down. Exhale, pull the pelvic floor muscles in. Inhale, ground. Exhale, stabilize with your pelvic floor. One more inhale, shoulders plug down. And exhale, wonderful. From here, let's take a nice postural stretch, set that weight down. We're going to grab our foam roller and open up our rectus abdominis. So I'd like you to lie down. Let's sit down, and we're going to bring our shoulder blades onto the roller, supporting our head with our hands, opening up the front of our rectus abdominis, those upper abs. So this is a great postural stretch for sway back posture because we do have the overactivity in the rectus abdominis. The lower you take that roller, the lower you go on your shoulder blades, the more intense. So I'd advise starting at the top of the shoulder blades and working your way down to the base of the shoulder blades. Make sure your head is supported at all times. Your abs are pulled in. You can find some lumbar extension here, thinking about the tailbone reaching towards the heels. And then really press the shoulder blades into the roller. It's counterintuitive. We kind of want to resist it because it's such a deep stretch. But if you push them in, you're going to allow a little more release. Hear your breath. Stay focused on the breath here. Deep inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And last breath. Inhale. And exhale. Coming up to a comfortable seat. Good job. We're moving into our final standing series. We're going to be doing lunging and balance work in the sagittal plane. We're going to stand up. We're going to take our heaviest loop band and put it around our outer thighs. We're doing this because this is going to help with our knee traction. We'll be doing some reverse lunges. And we're going to bring the top of our foot onto the roller. Standing by a wall, we'll hold on to the wall with our hand like it was a bar, and our inside leg, the top of the foot, is going to go onto the roller. Outside leg will be our standing supporting leg, and we're going to slide that roller back and forth, doing a reverse lunge. So I want your outside hand on your hip so that you can keep your pelvis nice and square. And you're going to begin when you're ready, exhaling back and inhaling forward. So we're doing a lunge with the inside foot on the roller. Reverse lunge, taking it behind us, sliding that leg back, top of the foot is on the roller, square the pelvis, inhale to stand up tall. Exhale to slide that leg back. So the top of the foot, your metatarsals aren't on the roller. It's the top of the foot. You're pointing your toes. And we take it back, exhale. And we stand up, inhale. We exhale back. And we inhale up. So the range of motion is smaller, but the whole point of this is to work on the knee traction. The bone of your big toe of your front leg needs to be nice and heavy. And if you look behind you, is your foot turning in or out when you point it? That's a sign of what happens with your feet in general with your traction of your feet and your ankles. So you need to be able to point your foot without sickling it in or it rolling out as you slide this leg back for a really good, strong lunge. So we've got the support of this band so we don't go too fast or too deep into the lunge without the proper support. Exhale back, inhale up. Give me 4 more. 4. Inhale up. Exhale, let the inner thighs pull you back. Pelvic floor muscles pull in and up. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the floor as you come up. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back. Inhale, pelvis pulls you up. 2 more. Exhale back. Inhale up. Notice that hip of the outside leg. Is it hiking? Can you pull it down? Get your pelvis even squarer than you think you can. Pull the core in. 1 more. Exhale. And inhale. Switching sides. Setting up on the other side. This side may be more tricky if this is your non-dominant leg being in front. And begin when you're ready, exhaling back, outside hand on the hip, reminding you that the hip staying even is super important. Pointing the toes as that leg goes back. It's really important that the lower pelvic floor muscles lift in and up as the pelvis goes back and you go into that lunge. Hear your breath. Watch out for the focus of the eyes and the chin. Make sure it doesn't drop to the chest. Keep the eyes up a little higher than eye level. Bring the sternum towards the back body. Plug the shoulders down the back. Let's do 8 more. 8. Inhale up. And 7. You're doing great. 6. And 5. Almost there. 4. And 3. Good. 2 more. 2. And last one. 1. Good. From here, taking that band off, we're going to move into balance in the sagittal plane. Tie your lightest Theraband 1/4 of the way into the roller. We'll use that in the outside hand. You don't need anything around your legs. We're going to be doing knee flexion to side knee flexion. So very slowly, we'll step up to knee flexion with our inside leg. So our outside leg is our supporting leg, and that outside arm goes up to an isometrical. Bring the inside leg up immediately to knee flexion. Inhale here. Exhale, open it out to side knee flexion. And inhale it back to knee flexion. Exhale it to side knee flexion. Inhale it to knee flexion. And last time, exhale, side knee flexion. Inhale, knee flexion. Step in front of your roller now. We're going to step back onto that outside leg. This is a challenge. Inhale, pull your pelvis down as you step back. Hold on to the wall, pull the abs in. Find knee flexion, point the toes. When you're ready, exhale to open it to side knee flexion. Inhale, pelvis pulls down as it centers. Exhale, inner thighs help you open it. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. And exhale, open. And inhale, down. Step in front. We're going to switch sides. So we'll start with our step forward onto our non-dominant side this time. So turning around with the other hand loaded with the band. Holding on to the wall for security. Outside leg steps up. We find knee flexion with shoulder flexion, engaging that outside arm, pointing the toes. Exhale to open the leg to side knee flexion. Inhale it back to regular knee flexion. Tip your tailbone back. Use your core. Open. And notice if the pelvis is moving. See if you can stand tall on that supporting leg and open from the hip socket, not move the pelvis. 1 more. And let's slowly step in front of the roller. The outside leg is going to step back onto the roller this time. Inhale. Pelvis pulls down onto the roller as you step up. Pull your abs in immediately. Stabilize. Exhale to open that inner thigh out. Inhale, pelvis pulls down to the roller as it comes in. Exhale, open out. And inhale in. And last time, exhale, open. And inhale in. Slowly making your way off the roller. You can set the roller to the side and just face your wall. We're going to step into a nice gastrocnemius postural stretch to finish up. Face the wall, step your dominant leg back into a lunge. Pelvis presses forward, opening up the calf complex. So deep lunge, pelvis forward. And let's just breathe here. Inhale and exhale, trying to keep the hips square to the wall in front of you, pelvis driving forward, abs pulling in and up. Inhale, exhale, pelvis pulls forward, deepening that stretch. You can bend the back knee a little, getting into the soleus, and straighten it, staying into the gastrocnemius. Play around with that. We did a lot of balance work, so that soleus can use a little attention. You got to bend to find that internal calf muscle. Give me 2 more breaths here, and then I'd like you to step forward. And we'll stretch your final side. So go ahead and step forward for me. Switching sides. Setting up for that gastric medius and soleus stretch. Step back into the lunge. Square your pelvis to the wall in front of you. Lift your chin and chest. Try to not drop the chin to the chest. Plug the shoulders down. Good. Bring your back legs hip forward and your front legs hip back a little bit. Bend your front knee even more than you think you can. Pull the pelvic floor muscles in and up. Play around with bending and straightening the back knee, getting into the soleus. Yeah, and as you do that, don't take your focus of your eyes down. Keep your chin and chest lifted and your pelvis driving forward. 4 more little bends and straightening of the knee. After you complete that, turn around, face me, interlace your hands, and stretch the neck extensors by tucking the chin to the chest without collapsing your upper back. So interlace the hands, elbows fall in towards the ears, soft bend in the knees, hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3, we're going to 6. Exhale 3. Inhale 4, quiet the mind. Exhale 4. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Inhale 6. And exhale, slowly bring the arms down. Wonderful work.